Even if you're not planning to learn the whole piece, I really suggest you to practice the last section the way I show in this video. It's great for developing a very important type of technique. And if you do want to go deeper and master the full piece, check out my comprehensive course linked in the description. As always, there is a time-limited discount available. Also, feel free to join my Patreon community. We have monthly Zoom meetings where a group of passionate music learners get together to talk about all sorts of piano-related topics. So let's start practicing this coda from the second ballade by Frédéric Chopin, and we are going to break the work in stages. The first stage would be to coordinate motions on a macro level, so we're going to coordinate small motions. For this, we are going to practice the right hand by breaking the first two bars into pairs of sounds. So this is how it looks. The first note is played on the motion up, relaxing the fingers instantly. And then we group them in groups of two notes. Down, up, down, up. What is important is to relax the fingers very well right after the hit. So this is what you control here: coordinations of motions and full relaxation in the fingers after you're done. And of course, try to keep your wrist as close to the key level as possible. So this is not a big motion, this is a tiny motion. So and this stage, try to connect these notes really well on legato. Just transferring the weight from 5 and 2 to 3 and 1 really well, like this. Then, in this bar, we are establishing some leaning points, so we are playing mostly separately by using the forearm weight and quickly relaxing the fingers. And then a leaning point here on the strong beat, again separately, and leaning point. And then lean, 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 again in pairs, so. So this is how your motion coordination looks. Concentrating on this weight transfer, support in the key, and instant relaxation between the groups. And you practice like this a few days, reaching a moderate tempo, let's say like this. With a good support, equal dynamics, mezzo forte, clear and quick relaxation between the elements. As soon as you feel comfortable by playing like this, the way I showed, you start gently accelerating the tempo, and now we are working on the second layer of motions. On the first level, we still have those tiny little motions: out, in, out, in, out, in. They are still there. Now they're going to be compressed, they're going to be minimized, and on the next level we're going to add another uniting arm motion. One arm motion which is going to unite a group of 6 notes. And at this stage you start to giving up on legato, which we were using before. So when you play slower, you do a proper legato between the pairs of sounds. When you go faster, you give it up. Don't think about it too much. But still feel those leaning points. They are still there, but they have to be minimized and united on one momentum motion. And for these spots, fingering is very, very important. I really suggest you to look into the Acquier edition of this piece for the fingering, because this is a spot where your fingering really has a very important significance. If you mess up your fingering, most likely you're going to mess up the spot. So then we gradually reach the stage where we can play as efficiently as we did before in a slower tempo, but now faster, yeah? And keep in mind that agitato it means agitated. So if you actually start not very loudly, not being fooled by this forte, if you start like mezzo piano instead, but in a very agitated character, showing those rests and making this music like out of breath, kind of excited, then you can actually build up the whole section towards this bar, and then it will be really, it would develop really great. So then you really feel the significance of this climax, which doesn't happen if you start to play this piece right away bombastically and very loudly. So this is one interpretation tip extra to this video. Now when we get to this spot, we use a forearm weight, and feel free to start it actually wider. For these leaps, we use either a downward curve motion, releasing the fingers. Like imagine that your fingers is a frog, quickly leaping to the next spot, like that, yeah? Or alternatively, you use the upper curve motion. Here, imagine that you push off the keys with the fingers and relaxing the fingers instantly, and someone is replacing your arm to the next position. So first practice like this, relaxing the fingers quickly after you strike the keys, and lifting the forearm using another key. So here your forearm is absolutely dead. It has to go numb suddenly, like this. So this is the motion, yeah? If you develop this motion, then the distance won't matter. Yeah, so then it will be very easy to leap whenever you want. When we get to this spot, a lot of people mess it up because they get stuck in the chords here, under supporting the thumb. Yeah, so what is important? A very simple remedy is just to transfer the weight from the right part of the hand palm to the left part of the hand palm, to the thumb, like this. So all the weight goes to the thumb. And there is a short moment where the whole arm just hangs on the thumb, on a stable thumb, and these fingers relax instantly. And also this part of the hand, you see, like this muscle between the thumb and the second finger is fully relaxed actually, yeah? It's not tense. And this allows me to go over with the other fingers instantly. So practice it slowly, developing this skill. This is also a very tricky spot. So what we're going to do here is also to establish leaning points. The first note, our thumb is our anchor. And then we are moving in the circles, down, and then forward and up on the way back. But the last note is a very important leaning point as well. So the first and the sixth note of each group are your leaning points. Lean, lean, lean. And here and here. So those are your leaning points, the first and the sixth. So this is a very useful way to learn this spot by terribly exaggerating these leaning points. So then you get rid of the accents, you don't mark them anymore, but you still feel that friction on them. You can actually prevent derailing if you establish those leaning points. So I hope that was very helpful and enlightening in some aspects for you. I hope that you can master this part much faster and with much more security and confidence. And check out the full course following the link in the description. Thank you and see you next time.